Hello, hello, and welcome back to Mandy's Not So Small Talk, where we dive into the deeper stuff that connects us as humans. And today, we're exploring the profound impact of social interactions during meals, the energy that we give to our food, and how this affects us physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And of course, I am your host, Mandy. And I've always had a rule in my home when my daughters are with me. We always eat dinner together, no exceptions. And there's no electronics at the table. We sit, we talk, and we connect. So we're present with one another. We share stories from the day, we laugh, and sometimes we discuss what's on our minds. It's one of the most nourishing parts of our routine, and it's about so much more than food. But in today's world, family meals are becoming less common. And did you know that in the 1970s, there's a stat that 84% of families ate together regularly, and that today the number has actually dropped to about 50%? Now, I'm not sure, you know, how accurate stats really are because, not everybody in the world participates when, we do statistical research, but those are the stats. And I mean, if you think about it and you look around, you can it kind of makes sense. I think a lot of us can tell that a lot of families used to regularly eat together, and we can all look around and see how that has definitely declined and is not the case anymore today. So what is the impact of this decline? Studies show that families who eat together are not only closer, but their children, they're less likely to struggle with obesity. They're less likely to have substance abuse problems, and they're less likely to have academic problems. So the simple act of dining together creates a ripple effect, and it touches every part of our lives. So let's take a look at two fascinating animal stories. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is a study where researchers at the Ohio State University conducted an experiment with the rats. There were rats that they had dined with peers, and they exhibited better health and behavior than the rats who they were studying that actually dined alone. So even in the animal world, dining together fosters positive social behavior and better health outcomes. So this highlights just how crucial connection actually is during mealtime. So then there's another study, where they did one with rabbits, okay? And it's called the rabbit experiment. And in this study, they fed rabbits unhealthy food, and they expected the rabbits to develop significant health issues. But they took one group of those rabbits where they fed them the same unhealthy food, but what they did differently was that they provided love and attention to those rabbits. So they lovingly stroked and cared for them. And surprisingly, this group didn't experience the same negative health effects as the other groups. So the presence of actual care and attention during mealtime transformed their body's responses to the unhealthy food. So it's literally changed how their bodies reacted to it. The experiment, it beautifully demonstrates how love and nurturing and care can actually counteract the negative effects of unhealthy food. Now, I wouldn't go so far to say it will, no matter what, it's going to counteract all, or how, what length of time, but that the takeaway here is that there is an impact when there's care and nurturance, that the body is able to not break down as quickly as they would if they receive love and attention. So I think that's important because, sometimes we will eat some unhealthy food, but as long as, we're in an emotional and a happy state and we're not eating them all the time, when there's love, joy, and connection, that it's not really going to have an impact. That's what I take away is that, that is a piece of staying healthy. Okay, so spiritually, let's talk about it. The act of sharing food carries deep significance. So across various spiritual traditions, food is seen as much more than just a physical necessity. It's a vehicle of energy and communion and connection. Let's talk about in Hinduism and Buddhism. They have the concept of prana, which is the life force energy, and it teaches us that food not only is sustenance for the body, but it's an exchange of energy. So eating mindfully and with gratitude helps us to align ourselves with the flow of universal energy. And let's go into Taoism. Food is considered a bridge between the physical and the spiritual realms. So the act of eating is revered as a practice of harmony and nurturing the body and the soul simultaneously. So eating with full awareness and presence is believed to actually foster balance and wellness. And then we can touch on the Kabbalistic tradition, where they view food as actually carrying they carry energetic properties that influence our soul's journey. So in this belief, food can actually elevate us spiritually, and the energy infused into our meals through intention can actually nourish not only our bodies, but also our spirits. So the sacredness of food is also deeply embedded in Christianity. So when Jesus broke the bread with the disciples, it wasn't just like an act of physical nourishment. It was actually a ritual of communion, of sacrifice, of unity. So breaking the bread symbolizes connection, not only with others, but with a higher spiritual presence. This symbolic act reminds us that food it's not just for survival, it's for spiritual nourishment. So when we break bread, we're not just consuming. It's an exchange of energy, of love, and life itself. In many spiritual traditions, food is linked to the divine feminine, which is the nurturing, receptive energy of the universe. So preparing and sharing and eating food is seen as an extension of the feminine principle, which values care, connection, and nourishment. So when you serve or you consume food with mindfulness and love, you're actually embodying these nurturing qualities. So in a world that can feel just so disconnected from natures and the cycles of life, returning to the ritual of life, returning to the ritual of eating with presence helps us to reconnect with the energy of the divine feminine, offering and healing and balancing within ourselves and our lives. All right, so now let's talk about what it means to be present with your food, especially if you live alone. Even if you're eating solo, you can create a sacred, mindful experience. So studies on mindful eating reveal that it has incredible benefits. When we eat, when we are distracted, like scrolling on our phones, watching TV, or just doing something else, we overeat and we miss our body's cues that say, yeah, I'm good, I'm full. But when we eat mindfully, we are present with our food, appreciating each bite and honoring the nourishment that it provides. So mindful eating, it isn't just about slow chewing. It's about engaging all your senses in the experience. Gratitude is key. So when you eat, express gratitude for the food and the energy that it provides. So this practice can lower stress, improve digestion, and even reduce overeating. And studies have shown that when we eat mindfully, we're more in tune with our body's hunger and fullness cues. So we're less likely to overeat because we are in the present moment, not lost in the distractions of the world. Mindfulness helps us to stop eating when we're satiated which supports better digestion and overall health. So the energy behind how we consume food is just as important as what we actually consume. In spiritual and esoteric practices, it's believed that food, it carries a vibrational energy. So when you eat mindfully and with intention, you elevate that energy of the food, and in return, you elevate your own energy. And the law of attraction teaches that the energy we put out into the world, whether through our food, through our relationships, through our experiences, comes back to us when we eat with love and gratitude and attract more of that energy into our lives. Food then isn't just about filling your body. It's about filling your spirit. It's an act of honoring not just your body, but your whole self. The practice of mindful eating allows you to engage in a sacred ritual that serves your well-being on every level, physical, emotional, and spiritual. So if you're eating alone, take this time to practice presence with your food. Just slow down, engage with each bite, and be grateful. Notice the flavors, notice the textures. Don't multitask while eating. No phones, no distractions, just you and your meal. And this will transform your relationship with food and over time shift your energy and perspective as you savor each bite. You're not just nourishing your body, but you're connecting to the sacredness of the present moment. By honoring your food and your body, you're inviting health, healing, and positivity into your life. And the energy that you infuse into the act of eating can be transformative. So I hope this episode has encouraged you to think about your relationship with food, not just as a means of nourishment, but as a sacred, energetic exchange. Whether you're eating with others or dining alone, take the time, be present, honor the food that sustains you and the body that carries you. So thank you for joining me today on Mandy's Not So Small Talk. Make sure you hit the like button, please. It helps me. It helps my channel grow and it costs you nothing. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so that you can get notified of each and every single one of my next videos. So until next time, stay present, stay nourished, and remember to feed not only your body, but your soul. All right. See me in the next video.